Um, we have today Goksin Bakir from the Windows team. Hi, Goksin.
Hi, how are you?
Good. So let's talk about Windows 8 and its plan to compete in the market.
Of course, let me start by introducing myself. My name is Goksin Bakir. I work for Developer and Platforms Group. My responsibility is Windows and Azure, which is the cloud platform of Microsoft. So how Windows Store is going to be successful, or how it is successful right now? I would say there has been a very big interest among developers around Windows Store. As you know, Windows has a great user base, starting with the previous versions, Windows 7 being upgraded to Windows 8. And if you have an application that is, a good application on Windows 8, you have a very good chance of being on the top of the lists compared to any other store, just being one of the other applications in the middles. So we're having all our developers and we're trying to make sure that they are aware and ready for development on Windows 8. Of course, it brings a new development style, which we call the modern user interface, which is a touch user interface, but we just want to make sure that any knowledge that we have, the developers have, are being used. So it's not like, hey, we have a new technology, forget about what you have done previously and start programming from scratch. It's like, let's use what you already have been using, be it Java, Django, C#, C++, anything, and then build on top of that the applications. For that we have several programs. I'm not going to go into details on that one. Especially in Middle East and Africa region, there's a great interest and lots of applications are coming up. And just to mention a few more, there hasn't been a lot of, I would say, let's say, game applications, but we are seeing a lot of interest on, game developers on certain platforms, because those platforms are currently available on Windows 8 as well. That said, the store is growing really fast. Since the launch, there has been a number of months, and in these number of months we had tens of thousands of applications, close to 50,000, I guess, right now on the store. I don't have the exact numbers, but this is a very good pace, along with Windows Phone applications. So I would say the store's growing in a very healthy and good paced manner.
So what's Microsoft plans to grow the market of Windows 8 in the region?
So developing with the store is one of the main pillars, of course, but it's not only restricted to that one. We just want to make sure that Windows is the way consumers use devices and services. So we want to reach more and more consumers, more and more people, be it on their living room with their TVs, be it with a smart glass combined with their Windows 8 phone and Xbox devices, be it on their cars or other places. And cloud also plays a significant role on that one. We have introduced mobile services a very short time ago, a few months ago, and since that there has been a number of releases. So any application that you have, not necessarily on Windows, let's say iOS, Android, even HTML, can be using this cloud end and then connect it to the cloud. Of course, Windows is getting the most out of this, and we're trying to make sure also that we help our developers from a design perspective, from a development perspective, and last but not least, from a business perspective as well. So, for example, in store, the developers part is starting with 70-30%, and then it's moving to much better ratios as they grow. So we believe this will promote downloads, this will promote number of application sales, and also not limited to this. We're also trying to make sure that developers are also aware of the market trends as well. It's not only selling your application, it is ads in your application, it is in-app purchases. for example. I mean, if you look at the growth of the advertisement industry worldwide, maybe it's going to grow another 5% in the next year or 2 years. However, if you look at the in-app purchases, it is going to be growing like 40%. So this will create a big opportunity, and providing the Windows Store and a huge base of Windows users to developers, I think this is going to be a very good opportunity, not only for developers, but also all the rest of the consumers to make the most out of the Windows platform as well.
So let's talk about the app revenue model in Windows 8 Store.
As I just mentioned, it's based on app purchases.
The percentage of
Yeah, the starting percentage is 30% versus 70%. 70% is by the developers, and after a threshold, it goes to 80%.
it's
And
25K downloads, right?
yes, after 25K, it becomes 80-20, and this is, I think, the highest range right now. And our store, different from.
And this applies for both in-app purchase and.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And also, there are a number of advertisement or in-app purchase models that are embedded in the programming models, and different from other stores. The discipline and the guidance of Windows 8 style development provides a much better interface for the developers to be able to put their ads or purchases in the way they want to place. It is embedded in the system.
So we can talk a little bit about the Windows 8 design and the method design and how it's being adopted by other startups and other products. What do you think of it, and where do you see the method style going? Do you think that's a global trend?
Definitely. To start with, we just call that the Windows 8 style design right now. The Metro name was a previous name, so it's not being used anymore. We just call that the Metro, the Windows 8 modern user interface. And one of the most important things in Windows 8 style is the tiles. So you got tiles, right? And what you do with those tiles is that it is your real estate on the screen. So it's not just an icon that you go and click to execute an application. To start with, we see that tablet users are browsing the internet, less than non-touch device users. So they prefer applications to reach, to be connected to the services that they want. Instead of going to a site and logging in everything, they just click on the application. Now, the real estate that we're talking about on Windows 8 devices gives you something called live tiles. So without going into that application, it will give you your last email, where your friend has logged in. For example, there's the people tile, the pictures are going by. If you pin one of your best friends, your family, you will see the latest notifications about that person without clicking and getting into the application. So it's a live screen that gives you information without going. You just turn on your machine, just get your main screen, you see what you're going to do, your, let's say, market investment values, your stock values, what your family is doing, who has tagged you, what will be your appointments, your last emails, and things like that. So that push of information, that push notifications that come into those tiles make a big difference, and it makes the greatest use of real estate on your screen. We see this especially in our development partners. They just want to be in the very first tiles of every user. So the game, it's like about clicking, getting number of users and everything. Now it becomes who's going to be on the first screen of the consumers.
So let's talk about the app development and the throw something for the developers. Is there any secret plugins or tricks that developers can use to make their app secure?
Oh, well, I mean, there are plugins, there are tricks, but none of them are secret. We just want to make sure that we share everything.
Exactly.
That's why what we're trying to embrace all the technologies. I mean, when you look at our development platform and our tools, it's not limited to Microsoft technologies. As I said, we support Django, we support Java, we support all the other languages. We just want to make sure that anything that's developed by, let's say, a developer, a startup, any company is fully utilizable on our platform. We just don't want them to throw away their knowledge. So they develop on HTML, be it. Let's just connect that HTML to the cloud seamlessly so that they wouldn't be able to, they wouldn't think about how their backend will work. It will just automatically be working on the cloud, just like plugging a plug into a socket on the wall. That's the target.
So developing an application for multi-platforms, for mobile and for your laptop, desktop, Surface, whatever. So what's happening on that?
Currently, starting with Windows Phone, although it has a similar interface, has been released before Windows 8. So currently we have Windows 8 and Windows Phone 8, where the development platform is very similar. However, you have to create different applications. Now, with the current work, there is a significant work that we're providing towards developing, one application and making sure that it runs on Windows 8 and Windows Phone 8. Of course, you will need to do some form factor changes. Otherwise, your users will be saying, I can't see this, I can't see that. That's a natural thing. And you can see lots of activities that we're posting on our official blogs about developing one application for Windows 8 and Windows Phone, and about how the previous applications need to be migrated as well.
Thank you for your time, Goksin.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure having you on.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.